If you've ever thought about going to East versus West in person, I think it's the absolutely greatest choice you could make if you're an arm wrestling fan. I've just returned back from East versus West 22, and man, what a fucking event. It was in Vienna, and it was absolutely full. I think there were like 3,000 attendees. I'm pretty sure it was like the largest East versus West event that ever took place. The atmosphere was absolutely insane. I almost destroyed my vocal cords. That's why I'm speaking like 3 octaves lower than I normally speak, I feel, because I just screamed my fucking lungs out. So we arrived at the Multiversum Schwechat after like 6 hours in the train. We went from Prague to Vienna. There was already people where it was completely packed. My claustrophobia definitely didn't enjoy it. But then we finally got through, and goddamn, the hall was amazing. Pretty damn large, especially for an arm wrestling event. And at first I was scared that the room wouldn't fill up, but then people just kept coming and coming, and it was absolutely packed. It was super cool to see all these people in person, and it's so weird because you're used to seeing them on a daily basis online, or at East versus West when you buy the pay-per-view, or when you watch it on YouTube. But actually seeing them like in 3D, it felt so weird. I got some photos with some of the athletes. I also got to enjoy the fact of being absolutely short against everyone there. So that was an incredible experience. Now let's talk about the matches. So the biggest surprise for me was definitely Kamil versus Michael. Because Kamil was fucking genius. He had an amazing game plan. I first predicted like I think 60-40 for Michael, that Michael is gonna win it. But I think Kamil finally like truly cracked the code of the King's move. At first he didn't push fully with the press, but he waited. He just laid on his arm, stayed shoulder connected, and actually waited for Michael to gas out. Michael started to try to climb, he closed his arm angle a bit by bit, but his arm got so pumped in the process that when Kamil hit, Michael couldn't stop it. He had no chance. The first round lasted like 5 minutes. It was a crazy, crazy battle, but Kamil had it planned perfectly and he executed, doing an incredible job. At first, I wasn't a big believer in Kamil, but now I'm definitely curious in what he manages next. The next unexpected match for me was Sergey Kalinchenko versus Jordan Sonev. I honestly thought, Sergey said it himself, that the hook is his stronger technique, that he found it out just now after his injury, that his hook should have always been his main technique and that he's gonna show it. But I completely underestimated Jordan. He stonewalled him, held him, won on endurance. And now Bogdan Stoica versus Nugo Chikadze. Holy shit. I thought that Nugo was levels above Bogdan, but Bogdan showed that he was truly something else. And he also kind of grew on me. I loved his speech after the match. So I'm now a huge fan and believer in Bogdan Stoica. I kind of think that he got robbed. Really, it could have gone the other way easily. It was super close. Where I'm super glad that I got the prediction right was with Manifestor versus Vlad the Destroyer. Vlad was kind of laughing in Manifestor's face before the first round, but then Teliatnik just snapped and completely destroyed Vlad. And I still think he's gonna get the title. I mean, considering he said that he didn't even properly train for this match and still completely crushed Vlad, I think he's gonna beat Samusha. I think he's gonna obtain the title, and who knows what happens next for him. I mean, the sky is the limit, it seems. I feel so proud and happy that a member of our club, a long-time member of our club in Prague, has finally managed to prove himself at East versus West. And now let's talk about the big one, Devon Larratt versus Vitaly Laletin. When I was predicting this match, I said that it would be either 4-0 for Vitaly or 4-3 Devon. And the first option turned out to be true. Now, as a huge Devon fan, I was hoping and believing that Devon would somehow pull it off, and goddamn, I felt that at some points in the match he actually was about to. When he went in and committed with the flop, and he actually managed to put Vitali on the B side, I was screaming my lungs out. I almost passed out. Then, of course, it was later found out that the referees kind of helped him there, but well, it was entertaining. Definitely was entertaining more than if they stopped the match. But of course, in the end, it turned out as I guess could have been expected with Vitali dominating. And I think the outcome was quite similar to what I was expecting, even though maybe I thought that Devon would be able to hold the flop a bit better. Because when Vitali initiated, like, immediately the arm opened up a whole lot completely. And I'm really curious how the right arm match will now go, because if Vitali's arm is also stronger, right arm is also stronger than his left, then I think it'll be a war. And it again all depends on if Devon's back pressure can hold against the press of Vitali. I think the lanes are going to be very similar. I think in this match Devon's going to pull it off, as his right should be on a completely different level. I'm also super glad for Petr Čeleš against Curtis Cameron, another guy from Slovakia, from, I would say, the Czechoslovak family of arm wrestlers. Also managed to prove himself. A great job. After the whole event, we were after pulling on some desks, tables, random tables outside. Even though I didn't pull much because my hands were absolutely fucking cooked. That's okay. If you're ever planning to go to East versus West, which I highly advise you to do so, if you have the time and the money, it's a great idea. The first rule is never get there tired. I had a very intense practice session 2 days prior, and my hands were in a horrible shape and I couldn't do anything. And it was such a shame watching everyone just destroying each other, and then there was me unable to do anything. Tip number 2 is to not bring your own food and water. I thought that if I had an empty water bottle, I would pass by, but they were like, no, you gotta throw it out, so I guess shame for me. Tip number 3, prepare for a crowd crush outside of the hall, outside of the multiverse, and there was huge crowds. Then there were huge crowds when he tried getting to the athletes. Around Devon Larratt, it's like he's like the sun, and he has this gravitational pull of other arm wrestlers trying to get to him. We tried to get to him, but the closest we got to Devon is that he, with his elbow, touched my friend when he was signing, I think, an arm wrestling table, and my other friend got hit by Jody, because Jody didn't want us to, push Devon so much, I guess. But I mean, I think Devon was fine with it. But well, there's nothing we can do. I guess better luck next time. Actually got recognized a few times there, so I felt like a superstar. Then I was awake for like 20 hours straight, so I started absolutely dying when we tried to get back to Vienna, because it wasn't directly in Vienna, it's like in Schwechat, that's like on the outskirts of Vienna. Thankfully, one of our friends helped us out, Evgeny, thank you so much. I know I'm just completely rambling here, I didn't create any structure for this video, I was like, I just want to talk about it because it was just so damn cool to see. And yeah, I'm so looking forward to the next events. It's likely that I go there in person as well. And I cannot recommend the experience enough. So, yeah, that was a lot of ramblings. Next Saturday, I got my first international competition, Visegrad Grand Prix. I'm highly curious how I will perform. Hopefully, it'll go well. Right now, my talents are still not good, so I hope by the time the competition comes, I'll be fresh and strong, not too rested, not too tired. Okay, so that's everything for me for today. I hope you got some value from this video, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.